I felt pretty good when I left the dealership. They were the proud owners of a Prius hybrid, and I was the enthusiastic new owner of a new Jeep Grand Cherokee SRT. I stopped at a traffic light and sat there with a huge, stupid smile on my face. I knew what I was going to do. When the light came on, I pressed the gas pedal. The 6.2-liter supercharged Hemi howled, and I revved it to its budget. I reduced it to the acceptable limit, and the smile became permanent. When I pulled into my driveway, I didn't back it into the garage. In a minute, I was getting ready to drive again. I walked inside and smelled something cooking. It smelled like spaghetti. I've never really liked spaghetti. It's good that I had plans. I didn't shout, "I'm home," like I usually do. I just went upstairs, changed into my golf clothes, took my clubs out of the closet, and headed out the front door. Rachel came out of the kitchen as I headed for the front door. "Charles, where are you going? Whose car is it? Dinner is almost ready. Why are you dressed like that, and why do you need golf clubs?" "Well, honey, I'm going to play golf. This is my car, these are my golf clothes, and clubs are needed to play golf." She stared at me like I was crazy. "You didn't say anything about playing golf. How about dinner?" "I'll have dinner at the country club," I told her. "Have a nice dinner." I heard her voice just as I was closing the door. "What do you mean when you say this is your car?" I didn't have time to answer trivia questions, so I continued on my merry way. My phone started ringing almost immediately, so I turned it off. I made it to the country club, enjoyed a very nice dinner with Ralph and Pete, and played 9 holes. I hadn't played for a long time, and it was noticeable. By the time we finished, I started to come to my senses and felt better for the next time. We agreed to play on Saturday morning, had a couple of beers, and I went home. I knew that a real thunderstorm was brewing in my house. I drove the SRT into the garage and went inside. A very angry-looking Rachel sat in her chair watching TV. Lightning flashed from her eyes and her eyebrows shot up. "What the hell is wrong with you, Charles?" Thunder burst from her lips. "Nothing at all," I said. "What the hell is wrong with you?" This riot seemed to take her by surprise. I should mention that I'm not usually that argumentative. I'm a calm guy. If I don't care about something, I keep quiet. I don't care about the color of the appliances in the kitchen. She wants stainless steel instead of black. As long as we can afford it, I don't care. Is this stainless steel? I was sure that she perceived my general lack of opinion as a lack of will. It was probably my fault to some extent. This won't happen anymore. She looked at me in surprise for a moment. "What the hell is wrong with me?" She practically hissed. "You come home driving this gas-guzzling monster, tell me you're going golfing, skip the dinner I made, and you have the nerve to ask me what's wrong." I thought about this for a minute. "Yes," I said calmly. "Yes. What does yes mean?" She was practically foaming at the mouth. "Yes, I really have the courage to say this." Her face became blotchy and red. "Are you drunk, Charles? Are you on drugs or something?" "I had a couple of beers at the country club, but no drugs. Do you have any medications you want me to take?" She seemed at a loss for words, but quickly came to her senses. "Maybe. Maybe you need to take some antipsychotic medication." She walked away and opened the door from the kitchen to the garage. The car must have made an impression on her. "Is it a wonderful car?" She snorted. "Are you having some kind of midlife crisis?" I thought about this for a minute. Yes. Yes. What? She wanted to know. Yes, I am in crisis, and I believe that 41 years old can be considered middle age. "Well, what's the matter?" she demanded. "What is what?" Quite a vague question. "What other crisis?" She seemed very annoyed. "It's a secret. So you're having a crisis and you're keeping it a secret from me?" It seemed like she couldn't believe it. "No," I said. "Stop being an ass," she screamed. "What do you mean, no? I'm not keeping this a secret from you." She clasped her hands. "I'm not going to waste my time. What is this stupid toy doing in our garage, and where is the Prius?" I traded it for SRT. I didn't like the Prius, but I like the SRT. "We agreed that the Prius is environmentally friendly and economical," she said. "This is the kind of car that responsible people drive. You need to think about how you'll look when you shove this monstrosity into your work parking space. All executives drive hybrids. How will they feel when they see you control this dinosaur? Envy. We agreed on a Prius, she snapped. No, I never agreed, I said. I just agreed because that's what you wanted. That's true, she said sternly. Don't you really care about my happiness anymore? Tomorrow you will return it back and get the Prius back. No. She acted as if she had no idea what the word no meant. What do you mean no? I won't return or take the Prius back. She thought for a moment. An offended expression appeared on her face. 3 days ago, I wouldn't have cared. What's wrong with you, Charles? I decided that I liked being called Chuck. From now on, you must call me Chuck. Her mouth was slightly open, and she seemed speechless. I appreciated it. I went upstairs to shower and get ready for bed. When I went into the bedroom, there was a pillow and blanket at the foot of the bed. You will sleep in the guest bedroom, she said. You're acting like a capricious child and don't expect me to sleep with you. I thought for a moment and pulled back the blanket. Her eyes bulged as I began to sit up. What the hell do you think you're doing? I go to bed. I told you that you won't sleep here. Yes, I heard you. My hearing is fine. Don't tell me where I can sleep. This is my half of the bed. The other half belongs to you. I won't go into your half. It's only fair to tell you that you shouldn't climb on mine either. She definitely rolled onto my side. I snatched the blanket from her hands and sat on top of her before laying on top of her. She desperately tried to push me away. I weighed 210 pounds. She weighed 120 pounds. She failed. Leave me alone, idiot. She tried to slap me, but I caught her hand. This is my side, I told her. Your side is over there. You are not welcome on my side. I stood up a little and she turned over on her side. Then she started crying. What's wrong with you, Charles? She sobbed. What happened to you? Why are you treating me like this? There's no Charles, I told her. Just Chuck. I told you I like to be called Chuck. I thought you liked being called Charles, she cried. No, it was you who liked to call me Charles, I said. I never liked it. I just went along with it for your sake. Why don't you want me to feel good? I don't think you respect me. I think the reason you don't is because I spent all my time trying to make you happy. I'm over it. Now I'm going to make myself happy. If you're happy because I'm happy, that's great. If not, then big fig. She made a soft, crying sound. What's happened? Yesterday you were the best husband in the world. The next day you are a son of a bitch to me. In fact, it took 3 days, not just 1 day. She stared at me. She looked a lot like one of those chicks waiting for their mother to feed them. I don't have any can of worms for you, I told her. She stared at me as if an alien had inhabited my body. Worms? What the hell is wrong with you? Are you sick? The answer to the first question is complicated, I said after a moment of thought. The answer to the second question is yes. She thought for a minute. You are sick? Yes. What is wrong with you? What kind of disease makes you trade your beautiful car for some monster? A gas guzzler? What kind of sick person are you if you can go play golf and drink beer? It's a heart problem, I told her. She looked embarrassed. Do you have clogged arteries or an irregular heartbeat? What does the way you behave have to do with heart disease? It's not really a disease. I had a change in my heart, something like a transplant. Are you going to tell me what's going on? I found out 3 days ago that you are a cheater. All that love in my heart died and was replaced by a heart just like yours. Now I take care of myself and I don't care about you. What did you call me? She demanded. Maybe you should consider getting your hearing tested. Did I stutter? No, you made it very clear, she said. I don't know what kind of bug you have in your ass, but you better deal with it. You just accused your wife of being a cheater and a fallen woman. I don't like to look at it as an accusation. It's more like a statement of fact, I explained. What the hell are you talking about? She practically screamed. No need to shout, I'm nearby, I said. I'm talking about your little hotel date with Alan and Marcy Baker. Her face turned pale. What? How? I don't understand what you're talking about. Do you know who our president is? What day is today? She just stared at me. Someone has worrying short-term memory loss, perhaps after a stroke. I took out my phone and opened Snapchat. They were saved in the chat and on my phone. I wasn't going to tell her where else they were recorded. There were photographs there, large, life-size. Rachel, between the two of them, walked through the door of room 177 of the Dorchester Hotel. She kissed Marcy and Alan had his hand on her ass. "Where did you take it?" she asked. "McLean sent it to me," I said. "I'm pretty sure he sent them to Lonnie, too. They are very angry. McLean is our son and Lonnie is our daughter." She gasped. "McLean?" He saw. "You're lying. You got them somewhere." I showed her the photo McLean took. "No, he was there, dropping off a client when he saw you come in. He just wanted to say hello." Imagine his surprise at your little date. I like this word. What about you? That wasn't... Oh, God. That's... What are you going to do, Charles? Charles isn't going to do anything, I said. Chuck is already working on this case. He's already orchestrated fatal accidents for the three of you. She looked at me with fear for a minute. She probably thought I wasn't joking. Really, what are you going to do? Nothing, I said. I hired a few of my friends to do everything. Alan and Marcy will die tomorrow. With you, I'll wait until next Wednesday. I'm guessing that since Alan and Marcy are going to work tomorrow, their airbags will fail. They will work, which will lead to a car accident. Of course, by then, the airbags will deflate. Mario is confident that the accident will be fatal. It's well known that these Priuses perform poorly in crash tests. That's why I got rid of mine. She looked at me for a minute with her mouth open. It wasn't a very attractive sight. She mustered as much composure as she could after this ominous revelation. Oddly enough, she seemed indifferent to the likely demise of her sex buddies. Just selfish, I thought. What about us? She managed to get out. Oh, good, we're gone now. Of course I'm divorcing you. Tomorrow you should be served at work. Do you think the company will object? 3 of their employees were on the date. God, I love that word. A date leading to a divorce and serving papers at work can create some awkwardness there. I doubt Colton Fisk will like this drama, what with him being a big man in the church and all. I wonder if Alan and Marcy will be allowed to have the funeral service in the church. This caused Rachel to make a strange, distorted scream that sounded terrifying, like some of the peacocks at the zoo. I turned off my light. "Good night, Rachel," I said. "I wonder if I will get both halves of the bed in a divorce." She threw herself on my side of the bed and clung to my back like a leech. "I don't want a divorce, Charles," she sobbed into my back. I didn't answer. "Charles?" She hugged me tighter. "Charles, I don't want a divorce." Silence. She looked over my shoulder. "Charles?" I looked at her. "There's no Charles," I told her, "and you're on my side of the bed." "Then fuck it, Chuck." "Chuck, I don't want a divorce." I rolled towards her. I also didn't want cheaters like my wife. But I got it, even though I didn't want it. Funny how that works, huh? She didn't seem to have the same curiosity as me. Chuck, I'm so sorry, she said. It was just something I wanted to try. I was curious what it would be like to be with another woman. Me too, I said. We're so similar, aren't we? I also got the impression that Alan was a man. Does anyone else know he's not cisgender? Don't be funny, she said. It was a threesome, but I didn't have sex with him, only with Marcy. Did he sit in a chair and watch? Not a cisgender voyeur. Pervert. He was doing Marcy while she was doing me, she admitted. Do you even realize how ridiculous this conversation is? What possible quirk of the imagination could make you, in your wildest dreams, think that this would help your cause? She hesitated a bit, but couldn't seem to come up with anything plausible. I was going to give you the same thing, she finally squeezed out. The same? What does it mean? I asked. A threesome with me and Marcy, she said. You just told me that you are interested in being with another woman. Marcy is not the kind of woman I'm interested in, I said. I was thinking about the one who didn't sleep with half the men in the city. Who were you thinking about? What the heck? Chuck was on a roll. I might as well play with her mind. Well, Lily has always been at the top of my fantasy list, I admitted. My sister? She squealed. You asked me yourself, I reminded her. Lily was sexy as hell. Rachel was a walking wet dream. Lily was all that and more. Blonde, brown eyes, a few freckles on the cutest nose imaginable, and that body. She had the most beautiful shape. It was the kind of shape that just looking at it would make your tongue hard, not to mention other parts of your body. Her breasts were big, round, and firm, and she had the most amazing ass on the planet. She oozes sensuality from every pore and made men do stupid things when she was around. She was 5 years younger than Rachel and I, briefly married in her late 30s to a promising NFL player, but dumped the deadbeat guy when he took off, started drinking, and couldn't hold down a job. When Rachel and I were dating, we were in college, and Lily was in high school, and she had a crush on me. It was fun, and I fucking loved her, but I never took any action. Yes, I felt lust, but I wouldn't do anything, even if I had the opportunity. I wondered if Rachel would actually go for it, and more importantly, if Lily would. It didn't matter. Rachel is leaving me anyway. But this was a very good opportunity to drive her away. I could see the wheels turning in Rachel's head. I'm not going to have a threesome with my sister, she finally said. I shrugged and turned to sleep. The divorce went as smoothly as possible. Rachel fought this with all her might, but divorces shouldn't be dragged out like they used to be. Most people know what happens in divorce, and it wasn't fun, but Chuck enjoyed life. How to leave your beloved. Just take out the trash. Sometimes the trash objects to being taken out, but hey, it happens. I never got that threesome with Lily. Although I'm quite happy to be in a couple, the curvaceous body of this cutie, who is a little spoon next to me, does not allow me to even dream of a threesome. Subscribe to our channel so that your second chaff doesn't cheat on you, and go ahead and listen to the next story, because this story is nothing compared to the next one. If you're under 18, don't even think about listening to the next one.